The thoughts that we have and the words we use to describe ourselves and the reality around us can really shape our environment. Especially, I feel like we can feel this a lot when we're having bad days. You know, if you're having like negative thoughts and you're just really irritable, really angry about what's going on around you, it could be a situation that sort of spirals and affects the rest of your day. You can really, really feel that, and sometimes even the people around you can sense that. And I come on here with this message today. This is just something I've been reflecting about the last couple of days, have just kind of been like, ugh, to me. And normally I deal with the people around me, my family and stuff, and just like people not so much strangers, but the people who get to know me and understand, like, you know, whatever about me. They sort of have an idea that I should be a certain person, is what I wanted to get at. And that can be like wanting me to like certain things. And when I say that, you know, the people who get to know me, that I'm not judgmental, that I'm very accepting, and that I will listen to and really want to get to know the people around me and really want to know the people I care about. And a lot of the times that isn't really reciprocated, that I'm expected to be a certain person, to like certain things, to put up with certain things. And it's really taken me a long time to really learn how to stand up for myself. And, I let the thoughts and the words and, just the way other people treated me to dictate my own reality. Even though I was miserable, I was letting them create a reality for me instead of me standing up for myself. So, I've been reflecting, and hi, if you're new to Tea Time, I journal each day to bring onto here just things that I've been thinking about, and like lessons that I've learned, and patterns I've noticed in people and in my life and stuff like that. So today is just a lot about how, like I said, our thoughts can become our words, which can become our behaviors and our actions, which can become like our character and what our reality ends up being. Even on like a bad day, it doesn't necessarily mean that, that is going to be your reality forever, but our feelings are fleeting. When you're having a bad day, those tough feelings will go away just as soon as like your good feelings did when you were having like an amazing day. It's vital to learn how to balance those two, the good days with the bad days. And it's just been kind of crap for me for the past couple days, like mentally. And the reason I say crap is just because I've been feeling myself letting those thoughts, and I get irritated, and then I feel like I make those thoughts and like those situations part of my reality, my personality. And I don't like when I do that. I'm trying not to be critical of myself, but I know that I don't have to be doing that. And I come on here to sort of give myself a message too, that we can create our realities and to whatever they want to be. And we can also adjust our realities at any point. Like I can take the power back, to stop letting those things affect me, and I think about them like over and over. And it's just like, it's one of those things I struggle with, like ruminating thoughts and, letting them become obsessive. Again, it's me letting them, it's me, making this basically bigger than it really has to be. Like I can choose at any time, or we can choose, to stand up for ourselves and to make our thoughts, to speak our thoughts, to make our feelings clear to other people, and to really express what we're feeling, especially if we're not being heard. Like I said, what really gets me is that people will try to make me into somebody that I'm not. And that is a lot of times liking things that other people around me like, and them wanting me to like them. But at the same time, they're not really asking me what I like, and they're not really trying to get to know me, get to understand me. But it's only because that I am so accepting, and like I said, I really care about the people in my life, and I want to get to know them better. And I feel like sometimes that can be taken advantage of. So it does get frustrating to me, but I still, at the end of the day, have learned, and try to tell myself, honestly, every day, I try to tell myself this every day, to express my feelings. If I don't like something, I can say I don't like that. If I don't want to eat something, I will say I don't want to eat that. And honestly, I feel like that is something that is simple, but it's not something that other people can really understand, if that makes sense. Let me get more into that. So how it affects me is that, well, yeah, so there's a bird's nest up there. That's cute. There are times when I will like hang out with my dad and he will want to go do something. He will want to, go eat at a certain place. He loves Wendy's and he always wants to eat Wendy's. But I don't eat Wendy's if it's not with him. Like, I don't normally eat fast food. I don't really do anything like that. And then also the times that I do, it breaks out my skin. So it's become really difficult to say no to him and then him also understand the no without getting volatile and defensive with me, which is, it can be really tough when we try to express our feelings and people don't want to hear them. It can get really irritating. And again, that's why it's just like been mentally irritating me, because it's just like what I deal with kind of on a daily basis. But even when I say no, sometimes even when we say no, people don't really want to hear that. And it can be really difficult when it's coming from our family, people closest to us who we really care about, and we care about keeping a relationship with them. But at some point, like, we are doing ourselves a disservice by letting them, just letting them be happy. Not that we want them to be unhappy, but we also, first thing is that we are happy. And when we are compromising I actually wrote that down and I underlined it, because we are compromising our happiness to please other people. We're compromising what makes us happy. We're compromising our comfortability to make somebody else comfortable. So even though we might be like miserable and unhappy, whatever, it might not even be to, a grand extent, but it is still something. Like, if there's a situation where you are making a decision and you feel like you are just doing it to accommodate another person, at the end of the day, that's, you're screwing yourself over, basically, because you're putting yourself into a situation that you don't really want to be in, and you're putting somebody else above you. You're giving them the control. And I talk about that in other videos, in past videos and stuff, that we are in control of our own realities. And that doesn't mean to completely, cut off people, get rid of our responsibilities, ignore people, and to just put ourselves highest on the pedestal. But it's still being there for yourself first thing, and putting yourself first. So, not saying that we don't have flaws and that we don't have whatever, but we still should have control over our lives. Because like I was saying, our words and, the things that we think become our reality, and the ways that, the ways that we act, the ways that we behave basically become who we are. And if we allow, the words of others to affect us, it gets in my head a lot. Just again, examples with family. And I allow that to, distract from who I am and to take away from who I am, which is also a lot of energy to allow somebody to so I watch a lot of Harry Potter, and I'm just thinking about the scene where I think it was Harry and Sirius Black who were being, I think the Dementors suck out your soul or something. At least that's how it looks. But it's just it looks so draining for somebody to be taking your energy and your power from you. That is how I visualize it. That when Sirius his soul was being sucked out. So sorry for him. Rest in peace, Sirius Black. But yeah, that's just kind of how I visualize it. You're giving somebody your power away. You're not saving yourself. He ended up saving himself because he did the Patronus charm for himself. Harry did in that movie. But yeah, when you're not helping yourself, you're just going to let yourself sit there and suffer and get your soul sucked out by a Dementor. So I think it's really important to allow yourself, to take your control back. Allow yourself to take your control back and to stand up for yourself. Because the longer you go, I think I wrote this down, the longer you keep your feelings to yourself, you give the power to others to fill in the blanks. And yes, people will always have something to say. People will always gossip. I feel like that's just what people do. And so that doesn't mean to like stand up for, you know, to be correcting everybody that has gossip about you. At some point, like, you know that it's crap, whatever it is that they're saying. But also at the same time, if you're directly dealing with someone who is pushing you to do something you don't want to do, then let them know that, because they're not going to know that unless you say something. Like the times that I've gone out to eat with my dad, or we've gone grocery shopping, and he always tries to buy me sugary food. And sometimes I eat them and then it messes with my face and it messes with my skin, and I know that about myself, but he like doesn't listen to me, and he doesn't understand that, because he can eat these things and not be bothered by it. So it's like, at the same time, it's another issue where he thinks that like his problems, whatever, you know, if he doesn't have a problem, nobody else should have a problem. So it's also like another separate issue, but you know, that's not today's video. But I still do speak up for myself. And it's not bad to eat. Like, I will have it every once in a while, and that's what I like to do, like even like once a month, because I know I also have a sugar problem. I'm addicted to chocolate. I love chocolate so much. And if you give me a chocolate bar, one of those Hershey chocolate bars with almonds in it, I will eat it within like 3 seconds. And I know that about myself. So I try not to eat those things, but it's like he just doesn't listen to me. And it is frustrating to not be listened to. But that their reaction to, you know, however we express ourselves is not our problem. And that is something I've been trying to tell myself, that it's also a reason why I get so in my head and, you know, so irritated, and it also gives me headaches, is because I care so much about, you know, other people's reactions. I want to be understood by my family and, you know, my loved ones and stuff like that. But also, again, it's not our problem when people don't want to understand us. Like, there have been so many times where I've told him no, and he just like, he doesn't understand. Like, it doesn't, I think it affects like how he thinks about himself, because he thinks that the only way that, this is how I feel like he thinks the only way that he can be, you know, beneficial to the people around him is buying things for them or giving them money. And when I say no to him buying me something, he feels like I'm saying no to him. So again, that's another thing that I've learned about him. It's another topic for another video, but doesn't make it any less frustrating. But it also doesn't mean that I have to stop saying no, or I have to stop compromising my feelings to make him happy, because I'm tired of doing that. I am 28 and I've gone 28 years trying to make other people happy. Not even trying to, but like not really knowing what made me happy. So now that I know what makes me happy and I know what irritates my skin, I can steer away from those things. So I've just been trying to eat better food, and like I cook all my food, the majority, and then like my dad will get me these sweet things, which is like, but I also have gotten back into working out. So again, this is things that I have done. And again, this can resonate however it resonates in your life, but I have done things that are going to help me put myself first, basically, because that's what we should be doing at the end of the day in our own lives, respectively. So I have, started working out more. I've gotten back into working out. Yesterday, my body's still killing me, but we move on. We do it again tomorrow, because honestly, it's fulfilling. It was nice. It was good. Eating more whole foods instead of the sugary stuff. My dad won't stop buying for me. And spending time outside with the dogs that I have. And that is always fun. You know, I try to find parts here and there that are for me, and taking that control back, because we each have our own lives, and we are each in control of our own lives. Like, my dad is in control of his own life. If he doesn't want to take control of his life, that's on him. He doesn't need to take control of my life. That was a little bit deep. That was a little bit, woo. Okay. Yeah. You have control over your life, not anyone else. Not a parent, a landlord, a dean at your school, whoever. You can be respectful in that relationship while still maintaining your autonomy, still being there for yourself. This is especially when others may try to manipulate you or even push you to be someone that you're not. It feels like almost every day I have people telling me, like, a lot of what they tell me is like, this is what you should be doing, that's right for you, but also at the same time, don't get to know me. So, you know, if you're in a situation where somebody isn't trying to get to know you or try to understand who you are, then I think that's definitely a time you need to speak up and tell them what, or like, again, people don't always try to understand us or want to understand us. And, you know, if you've tried and you've tried to speak up for yourself and get them to understand, if you just notice that they're not, you don't have to keep doing that to yourself, because they are clearly in a position where they don't want to understand you. And again, that is them, you know, just that's how they're reacting. That doesn't have anything to do with you. That's how they've decided to react. And yeah, for me, it's very frustrating because, what did I write? Most of the people in my life don't know how to have a relationship with another person without pushing their interests onto that person. Every type of relationship should be mutually beneficial, flowing evenly from one person to the other in a healthy exchange. But rarely does it feel that they ever truly work that way. Yeah, this is just a lot from what I've seen with other people, other people's relationships with other people, is that their interests are like tossed onto another person. Like, they're like, oh, I really like this movie, you should watch this movie. Like, instead of asking this person if they like that kind of movie and recommending it to them, like, that is a different thing. They are automatically, like, without thought, saying you should do this, instead of this person, you know. Instead, it's not beneficial, mutually beneficial. It's not flowing. Like, this over here is projecting onto this one is just trying to exist and is getting all of this on top of them. Like, that is not beneficial at all. That is a lot of energy onto this person that is taking away from, you know, who they are, things they have to do, whatever. So yeah, I'm saying that I'm no longer compromising my happiness to please someone else, and neither should you, because putting all of our energy into pleasing others leaves nothing for ourselves. And I've talked about this in other videos, like when you are giving 90 or 95% into another situation, that leaves you with 5 or 10% for yourself. And that means you've got 5% to like do your laundry, 5% to make your food, go grocery shopping. Like, it's exhausting. You cannot do all of those things with 5% of your time. You're giving 0.5% of your energy to every single thing that you need to do. And if you have kids too, and like you're drained from other aspects, you cannot give what you need to give to your kids. So yeah, use your words to stand up for yourself. If you're upset with how a conversation or interaction is going, stand up for yourself. That action will immediately shift your reality and allow you to take your energy back for yourself. So yeah, when you're expressing yourself, you're expressing your upsetness, your feelings. You're having that conversation. You're standing up for yourself. You're dictating like how you feel. This other person doesn't have to agree with it, but you are saying what you feel, and you're saying what is going to make you happy. If they don't care to make you happy, then honestly, do they need to be in your life? I think that is a question to ask. But you are making that action, you know, physically speaking up, to shift your reality into a reality that is beneficial for you. And you're no longer allowing, like, whatever this conversation was, you're not allowing this other person to, you know, push you down or, you know, take your energy in whatever way. Your feelings and words are more important than you realize. So say what you feel is right and allow your actions to create your reality. And I will say to still try to be respectful of the other person, because honestly, sometimes people don't know what they're doing, or, you know, sometimes don't care to know. I don't know, but the way that they're acting doesn't have to be how we act as well. And also sometimes, like, if someone is trying to get like a rise out of you or, you know, irritate you on purpose, you don't have to react with their same energy. You can, you know, be cognizant of your own energy and still be respectful, because honestly, again, like, it goes into your actions and you being respectful really shows who you are as a person and what your character is, and also what your reality is. Because I feel like when you're disrespectful, like on purpose, I feel like that comes back to bite us sometimes. So yeah, but make sure your feelings are expressed, because the longer you keep your feelings to yourself, you give the power to others to fill in the blanks, like I said, and people always have something to say. So, you know, not the gossip aspect. Again, we're not going to entertain gossip or whatever. But if you're directly dealing with someone who is pushing you to do something you don't want to do, then let them know. They won't know any better if you don't. And again, they will react however they want, but it's not worth it It's not worth it for you to be miserable. It is not our job to make sure others aren't unhappy. It's our job to make sure we are happy. We're not playing Bob the Builder. Like, we've done enough work on ourselves. We've done that. We put all that energy in. We don't need to, help them with that aspect too. Again, if they're not even being, I forget the word. They're not being, receptive. They're not being receptive to it. There we go. But yeah, I mean, if someone is asking for your help and like asking for your opinion, how you got through something, then that is different, because they're receptive to your wisdom and what you have to say. But if they don't even care to like learn or change or whatever, that's not up to you. Again, that's up to them. And in these times when you feel irritated with how the people around you are acting, affirmations can be really helpful. They help me shift my entire outlook. Again, like I was saying them to myself today. And these are the ones I wrote, and I was also telling them to myself, and I also felt my headache going away. And I was out of my head more. I was just like out of my head, more in control of my physical reality. So affirmations I wrote down are: I am in control of my emotions. These feelings are temporary. My reality is what I make it. And I let go of this anger. Whatever feeling it is, I let go of this irritation. I let go of this weight. And even, saying it out loud, it can be really freeing. Saying it multiple times, 3, 5 times, however many times you need to say it to feel it, and for you to feel relieved. That's the best thing you can do. And I feel like affirmations are little reminders. At least that's how I look at them. Of our own power, of our personality, of what we're capable of. They're really, really amazing, and they can really change your outlook, your mindset, your reality. And they're also, again, great ways of manifesting. And I'm not saying that your fears manifest, but sometimes when we do get in like negative mindsets, that can just kind of like tumble throughout the day. And sometimes there might be somebody at the store who is like, really kind to you, and you just kind of needed that pick me up. So, things work in mysterious ways. World is interesting. So, but I do think, that we should take that control back of our lives, of our energy, of our reality and our mindsets. And I think affirmations are a great way to do that. They're little bitty reminders of our power, of what we're capable of and what we can do, and how great we are as well. And yeah, you can say them out loud. You can say them in your head. I think they're great. Think of whatever affirmations work for you, but it's important to focus on the things you can control in your life. That being your thoughts, words, behaviors, and your character. Not really, like I said, not about the gossip, not about what people are choosing to say about you, like behind your back, whatever. I'm sure so many people say so many things about my back or behind my back, but I couldn't even tell you who it is. Like, I don't really care enough. And if they aren't, if it's not somebody that I talk to regularly, I don't really care. It is what it is. People are always going to have something to say. Even the people who do see me regularly and, have something to say, it's like, I don't care. Because I know myself at the end of the day. I use affirmations to remind myself of that. And that's all we can really do. And then just, as the more that we know ourselves, we are going to align with people who really, see us for who we are, which is amazing. And yeah, I think and then, I don't know, it's cool to probably see, this probably sounds, I don't know, I'll just say it, like to see ourselves reflected into other people, and to, see the amazing things that we have also be in other people who are, who care about us, and then we also care about them. And I think it becomes like a beautiful relationship too. And kind of effortless, and it feels like I was talking about how relationships should be mutually beneficial, and you should be, like healthily transferring energy from one to another. That is, an even exchange. And I think it's beautiful when that happens, when you have like friendships, coworkers, whatever it is, where you guys really just truly care about each other. and you believe in each other. I think that is really beautiful. And again, like when you speak up to your friend, or, you know, you have something to say, they're not gonna, I thought that kid was gonna fall out of the car. They're not gonna like put you down or anything. They're not gonna talk over you. They're not gonna be, you know, rude, aggressive, whatever, because that is somebody that truly cares about you. And is also willing to, and probably has done like deeper work on themselves, the same way you have. So yeah, focus on what you can control and focus on where you're giving your energy. Because, you know, what did I write down? Energy flows where your mind goes. So yeah, if I'm thinking about everybody who has wronged me, I'm wasting my energy. So at least right now, that's how I feel. Sometimes revenge is, but also that's separate. Whatever. Yeah. You can give power to what you want in your life just by focusing on it. So make sure you focus on what's beneficial for you. And that was everything, excuse me, that I had for today. Again, I was just feeling a little irritated. So I wanted to share a little bit of a message, you know, alchemize that energy, transmute that into something that is, again, beneficial for me. So this is where I've decided to put my energy. I hope you decide to put your energy today and every day into things that are helping you, that are making you happy, whether that's playing Animal Crossing, that is reading a new book in the series that you love, watching your favorite movies, hanging out with friends, having a good laugh, going out to brunch, volunteering, donating, you know, especially like with spring, if you're cleaning out your closet and you really, you know, you want to do a deep clean, amazing. And also like donate what you can, you know, yeah. So, okay. I think that was everything for today. And yeah, I feel a little bit better. I hope this was helpful to whoever hopefully needed to hear it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to finish my tea, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.